Hey guys, welcome to the Damola Playbook.
Dedicated to speaking our truth, both in and out of medical school.
So today we're gonna keep it real casual. I know y'all saw the title. My girl is pregnant. Damola is pregnant,
I'm
y'all.
pregnant, y'all.
She's pregnant, so we're gonna
Got
be
a little baby in the oven. Crazy, right?
Crazy. No, we're gonna be asking her a couple questions. I know y'all are curious, nosy. I'm sure. So we got the answers for you. Alright, so my first question is, how did you feel when you found out you were pregnant?
How did I feel? I feel like there's a lot of mixed emotions. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to believe that it was true. Like, I saw it and I was like... and
I was on FaceTime.
I was like, yay! Oh my god. And then school came up in my mind and there's just a lot of mixed emotions that came up, you know? And yeah, honestly, like the first emotions that I felt when I first found out was a lot of mixed emotions. It was like I was secretly happy because obviously I've always wanted to like raise a family and do all that stuff, but like I just didn't think it was a perfect timing to do it. I was just starting rotations. So at that time I was like, oh crap, like what am I gonna do? And am I gonna be able to complete rotations? What's my family gonna think? Like there's just a lot of emotions that came up with the pregnancy, I would say.
Right. When did it become officially real to you? Like, okay, I'm actually pregnant. Like when did it become real?
It honestly didn't become real until I got my first ultrasound. Like even like the pregnancy test being positive, the blood test being positive, I was like, honestly, all this stuff could be like, you know, next.
I was in disbelief.
I was like, man, let me just continue my life or just, you know, maybe something will happen along the way, you know?
Right.
But then when I got my first ultrasound and I actually saw that there was like a baby in there, I was like, okay, now this is real for sure. So it was happy feelings at the first ultrasound for sure.
I would say for me, it didn't become real until the second ultrasound. Because the first ultrasound was like, you know, not that much going on, the baby's growing.
It was like a little pebble.
Yeah, like all the cells were forming. And the second ultrasound was like, oh my gosh, there's a head, there's a forehead, there's a nose. And I started crying because I was like, oh my gosh, like that's my little like niece or nephew in there. And it was a crazy feeling, but it was a good feeling for sure.
Yeah, it was 100% a good feeling.
Yeah. So. How has it been juggling being pregnant and being in medical school? Like what was some of the difficulties that you faced doing both?
So I feel like there's a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons to being pregnant while doing rotations.
Right.
I'll start off with the pros. I think the pros is I was surprised that more people were understanding about me being pregnant. So I got some advice. I spoke to a couple of like directors, medical directors at our school, and I got some advice for them. And they basically just said to be as honest as possible, like going through the rotations and tell people who need to know. Such as when you're going to the OR, because general surgery was my second rotation that I was on. So when you're going to the OR, telling the circulator nurse that you're pregnant, or telling the resident on service that you're pregnant, or even the attending sometimes that you're pregnant, so that they're aware when you need to sit down, like when you're lightheaded and whatever symptoms that you're experiencing.
Was it scary having to tell them?
So that's why I listed it as a pro, because telling them, they were very understanding about the fact. And actually, when I told them, they would always have a chair right behind me, just in case I need to sit down. If I need to get a drink of water, they would let me. They would let me eat breakfast before an OR, which is like, they gave me a lot of special treatments, like just being pregnant and preparing for the OR. So that was like 100% a pro. I wasn't nervous to tell them. I was just nervous that like, other people would find out when I'm not ready yet, you know, but I felt comfortable enough telling the resident, telling the attending, because like they need to know, you know, like if I'm tired and I need to go home, like I need to go home, you know, like I'll do my best, of course, like excel as best as I can, but I can't kill myself. So
what about Georgetown? How has Georgetown been like accommodating you being pregnant? Do you feel like they've
been super accommodating. Like the financial advisor was so accommodating, you know, helped me out with my finances, gave me some money.
Really?
Like like
whoa, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they're helping me out with my medical bills. Like they were so understanding.
Amazing.
And then also I was worried about like when I have the baby, it's gonna be in the middle of rotations, like the middle of like my second to last rotation, so I was worried about like what's gonna happen to my last rotation, like what am I gonna do, just abruptly stopping. And he literally was like, honestly, once you have the baby, it's all about you. Take your 2 months off, which is, it's good enough, you know, take your 2 months off and then just finish a rotation when you get back from your 2 months, and then you'll still be on track with everybody else. So
amazing.
They were so understanding, and I'm so grateful for that. I think the cons, to go back to your previous questions, I would say the major cons of being pregnant and being on rotations is that you're constantly so tired. Like, everyone is already baseline tired already because you're already at rotations from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. But adding like another baby is just, it's a fatigue that's undescribable. Like, you just feel like, I don't know how to explain it, like a weight is over you and you just need to sleep. And that was like my experience the first trimester. I was so tired. And then also I experienced a lot of nausea too as well. And being in the OR, oh my gosh, wearing
the smells.
Yeah, the smells, wearing like the outfits. Like the first day I was in the OR, I actually passed out the first day. Like, I knew it was coming and I excused myself from the patient table. I was like, let me not pass out this patient and this is another disaster. So I like stepped off away from the table, and I was walking out, I was like, everything just went black and I literally just passed out.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I remember you told me on the phone, I was like, wait, what?
No,
what
yeah, it was bad, and I was like sweating. I was just like going through a lot, and so they had to like put an IV on me, stat. Like, it was really bad. They took me to the emergency room.
Did they give you fluids? Is that what?
Yeah, they gave me fluids. Like, it was just a lot going on. But thankfully, I did tell my chief resident that I was pregnant. So she knew I was pregnant. And I think the third-year resident also knew I was pregnant too as well. So it wasn't like this, like, you know, immature girl coming in for the first time just passing out because of blood. Because it wasn't because of the blood. It was laparoscopic. So the blood was...
I mean, that's a testament to always be honest.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't know, then they wouldn't know how urgent it was.
Exactly,
So, like,
exactly.
You know?
And because they knew I was pregnant, that's why they got the fluids right away. They took me to the emergency room right away. They took my blood right away. Like, they were like on it because I was pregnant. And then after that, like, that's when the whole chair situation came about. Like, they always had a chair behind me. They let me take breaks and let me go get water. Like, they were super nice. Like, I've actually had like a very good experience with other people in the OR. Not necessarily me being in the OR because of the nausea and the lightheadedness and stuff, but other people treating me well in the OR so far. So,
So how far along are you?
So I am 14 weeks pregnant. I just entered my second trimester. Thank God I'm past the first trimester. And hopefully, they say in the second trimester, all your symptoms seem to like decrease, and that's seemed to be the case for me too as well. So
no, that's another question. Like, how was your first trimester? Like, what symptoms did you feel?
Yeah, I talked about it a little bit before, but the main symptoms I experienced were nausea, vomiting because of the nausea, lightheadedness, fatigue, and severe car sickness. It was motion sickness. Yeah, like getting up and down, like moving up and down made me so nauseous. It was just, it's just weird. Being in the car made me so nauseous. It didn't matter if I was the passenger or the driver. I just was so nauseous being in the car. And food aversion, like, I'm usually a meat person, like 100% meat person, but I can't eat meat anymore because it
Really?
Yeah. Unless it's in Chipotle, that's another story, but like eating like beef, like, you know, Nigerian good beef, like I literally cannot eat it. It makes me so nauseous.
Wow.
It's weird. And anyone who knows me knows
that's a huge deal,
you know? So I've just been sticking to chicken and sticking to whatever I can eat. Oh, and then heartburn. Oh my gosh. I've never experienced heartburn. And if you know us, you know we like our spicy food.
Spicy food every day.
Yeah, I've never had an issue with eating spicy food, but for now, like, I don't know what it is. Like, it literally just enters my neck, and I just can't seem to get it down. I still eat it, don't get me wrong, but I suffer a lot. But yeah.
That's serious.
It's serious. Like, the food that you enjoy is like a struggle for you to enjoy. Like, what is this? You know? It's just weird. And, I would say the last one would be decreased appetite too as well. I haven't been eating a lot. Like, the first trimester, I wasn't really eating a lot because of like the nausea, the food aversion I was experiencing. So I was eating way less, and I was losing like a couple of pounds. But yeah, so since it's the second trimester, it's time to up my food. It's time to eat more healthy and just eat more.
What about your friends? How did you decide who you're gonna tell?
Yeah, I feel like for me, I prioritized who was closest to me And from there, that's who I kind of told at the time. There wasn't a specific order that I had in order to tell my friends. It was just more so I knew the people I had to tell, and I know I need to tell them before I reached the second try, or like before the third try started. So I knew I had between the first and second try to tell my closest friends, you know? And I trust my friends, and so I was like, you know what, I have to tell my friends, because you need support system. Like, you can't just be your man and then it can't be like your family. You need friends too as well that like knows who you are, understands who you are. And I think looking back on it, I have no regrets on anyone I've told. Like, everyone I've told was for a reason and for a purpose. But looking back on it, I maybe wouldn't have rushed too fast to tell my closest friends. I felt like because I was so close to them, and because like I was scared that they would notice a difference in me. Because obviously, like, I like to have fun, like I like to like go out and, you know, go to restaurants and stuff. And like obviously when I was pregnant, it decreased because I was so tired all the time, and I was in rotations too as well. So I think for me, looking back, I would definitely slow down on telling them. There's no rush in telling your friends, but of course I'm not saying don't tell your friends, because I'm glad I told my friends, but just be more cautious about that. And just like, there's no rush to everything. I felt like in the beginning I was like rushed, and I had to like get everything done as soon as possible because I was in school, like I had stuff to do, like I'm a planner. But just like relieving that pressure off of you
can happen as you see fit.
Exactly.
So what now? Like, what do you plan to do now that you're pregnant? What are your next steps?
My next steps are to continue rotations.
Okay.
My next steps are to plan a baby shower. My next steps are to, just focus on school. Honestly, school is like my biggest priority. You know, I don't want pregnancy to be a reason why I don't finish school.
God forbid.
Finish school. And because everyone is so understanding, and because I'm a hard worker, like obviously, like it's just not possible for me not to finish school. To continue school, to plan all the events I need to plan, because they're gonna happen. I'm not gonna let school stop that, and then to bring a healthy baby into the world. Those are my next steps.
God's grace. We have future videos coming, so you'll see her grow a little bit bigger.
I know. Right now I'm not that big, but
I know. My niece or nephew is coming soon, y'all. Stay tuned.
Bye.
Lots of love in the battle, sisters.
No, I got a banger.